Long before modern Europe, before kings ruled vast empires, before guns changed the way wars were fought, there was a city that stood as the jewel of the known world, Constantinople. For over 1,000 years, it had resisted invaders, survived plagues, and witnessed the rise and fall of empires. But in 1453, everything changed. On May 29th, the Byzantine Empire, the last remnant of the Roman Empire, fell to a young Ottoman sultan who would be remembered as the Conqueror. This is the story of the Fall of Constantinople, a tale of strategy, bravery, and a city that refused to fall until it did. Constantinople, founded by Constantine the Great in 330 AD, was more than a city. It was the heart of an empire. Its walls were legendary. The Theodosian walls, built centuries before, were considered impenetrable, and for over 800 years they had fended off countless sieges. Yet, by the mid-15th century, the Byzantine Empire was a shadow of its former glory. The Black Death, economic decline, and the constant threat from rising powers had reduced the once mighty empire to a few cities and islands. By 1453, Constantinople itself housed fewer than 50,000 people. Its population was a mix of Greeks, foreigners, mercenaries, and refugees from the surrounding lands, all struggling to survive. Emperor Constantine XI, Palaiologos, the last Byzantine ruler, understood the gravity of the situation. To the north, the Ottomans had grown stronger than ever. To the west, Europe was fragmented and exhausted, incapable of offering significant help. Centuries-old divisions between the Eastern Orthodox Church and the Roman Catholic Church further weakened Byzantine diplomacy. Attempts to unite Christendom fell short, leaving Constantinople isolated, yet not without determination. This city, with its golden domes, bustling markets, and ancient churches, was about to face the greatest siege the medieval world had ever seen. When Mehmed II ascended the Ottoman throne in 1451 at just 19 years old, European leaders underestimated him. They thought a young, inexperienced sultan would be easy to deter. But Mehmed had other plans. He immediately began constructing Rumeli Hisar, a fortress on the European side of the Bosphorus, directly facing Anadolu Hisar. This strategic move allowed him to control all naval traffic through the strait, effectively isolating Constantinople from reinforcements by sea. Mehmed also positioned garrisons across the Peloponnese and prepared roads to transport massive artillery, cannons that would soon rewrite the rules of siege warfare. Meanwhile, Emperor Constantine XI desperately sought allies in Western Europe. Some mercenaries arrived, like the Genoese General Giovanni Giustiniani and a small Venetian fleet, but the aid was too little, too late. Religious and political tensions prevented the full support of Western kingdoms, leaving Constantinople to rely heavily on its citizens and a small foreign contingent. Defensive preparations focused on the city's formidable walls. A massive chain was placed across the Golden Horn to block the Ottoman fleet, and cannons, albeit smaller and weaker than the Ottoman artillery, were mounted on the walls. Civilians aided in reinforcing walls, manning watchtowers, and gathering resources. Every able-bodied man was counted, every weapon accounted for. The stage was set. Two massive forces were ready to clash. Roughly 7,000 defenders, including Greeks, Venetians, Genoese, and monks, versus an Ottoman army of 50,000 to 80,000, supported by elite janissaries, heavy artillery, and a fleet that numbered over 100 ships. The siege began on April 6, 1453. The Ottomans bombarded the walls with colossal cannons, some of them over 27 feet long, designed by engineers like Orban. These cannons could hurl 600-pound stone balls over a mile, yet their inaccuracy and slow firing rate allowed the Byzantines to repair breaches after every strike. Naval warfare played a critical role. The Golden Horn chain prevented most Ottoman ships from entering, but Mehmed's ingenuity overcame it. In a feat of engineering, Ottoman ships were hauled over greased logs, bypassing the chain entirely. This maneuver demoralized the defenders and ensured Ottoman control over the harbor. Several assaults on the walls were launched but failed, costing countless Ottoman lives. The defenders, though vastly outnumbered, held firm. Mining tunnels were dug under the walls, only to be countered by Byzantine sappers in a deadly game of underground warfare. For weeks, the city withstood the relentless Ottoman pressure, a testament to human resilience and military ingenuity. By May 29th, after 53 days of siege, the final assault began. The Ottomans attacked in waves, starting with Christian troops, followed by irregular forces and Turkmen mercenaries. The Theodosian walls, the pride of Constantinople, finally gave way at the northwest corner. Genoese commander Giustiniani was wounded and evacuated, causing panic among the defenders. Emperor Constantine XI, refusing to abandon his city, led a final charge and disappeared amidst the chaos. Civilians were swept into the streets. Venetian and Genoese ships evacuated only some of the survivors. The city fell. Mehmed II entered Constantinople, awed by its beauty, yet determined to claim it as the Ottoman capital. Looting and enslavement followed, though historians note that Mehmed tried to restrain excesses. Tens of thousands of citizens were enslaved, churches and homes plundered, women and children taken captive. The Byzantine Empire, the last vestige of Rome, had ended. The fall of Constantinople marked the end of the Middle Ages and the beginning of the early modern era. It demonstrated the power of gunpowder and artillery, reshaping military strategy for centuries. Constantinople, now Istanbul, became the capital of a rising empire that would dominate the region for centuries. The Byzantine Empire's fall was more than a military defeat. It was a cultural, religious, and psychological shock to Europe. Scholars fled west, carrying priceless manuscripts that helped fuel the Renaissance. The world had changed forever, and the lessons of Constantinople's final stand continued to echo through history.